Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We've got a really interesting one for you. Today, we're taking a closer look at a platform that's been making some serious waves in the digital gaming space lately. It's called OnlineCasinoCanadaX.com. Now, whether you're a seasoned player or maybe you're just kind of curious about how these modern digital casinos actually set up their offerings, we're going to break it all down for you. We're looking straight at their own promos and documentation to see exactly what they're bringing to the table for players across the country. Okay, let's dive right into this. Right out of the gate, these guys make a seriously bold statement. They brand themselves as the ultimate online casino Canada has to offer. I mean, wow, right? That is a massive claim, especially in an industry this competitive. So that's exactly what we're putting under the microscope today. We're going to objectively look at how they actually back up that claim, looking at their localized features, their bonuses, and the tech running behind the scenes. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First up, we'll look at how it's built for Canadians. Then we'll break down the welcome bonus, explore the game library, check out banking and payouts, and wrap up with safety and security. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, built for Canadian players, or what they call a truly localized gaming experience. The platform goes out of its way to promote being 100% CAD ready. Now, why does this actually matter so much? Well, if you've ever tried playing on an international site that only takes US dollars or euros, you already know the headache of currency conversion. You put in one amount, your bank skims off a percentage, and then when you go to cash out, boom, you get hit with another fee. It's super frustrating. By operating entirely in Canadian dollars, Casino Canada X lets you dodge those hidden fees completely. What you see is literally what you get. And building on that local vibe, they highlight a few major logistical perks. Along with those zero conversion fees we just talked about, they've got 24/7 live support through chat and email. That means actual expert help is always awake, regardless of your time zone. They also really lean into being mobile optimized. You don't have to go digging through an app store for a clunky download. You literally just load it straight up in your phone's browser. Plus, they maintain strict 18+ responsible gambling protocols, making sure there are tools in place to keep the entertainment safe. Okay, let's move right along to Section 2 and talk about the incentives. We're going to unlock that welcome bonus and look at the real numbers behind their Canada X promo. Now, what's really interesting here is the specific number, $1,000 CAD. They use this as their absolute flagship incentive for new users. Basically, they're offering a 100% deposit match up to exactly that dollar amount. So if a new player puts in $1,000, the casino matches it instantly, doubling that starting balance to a cool $2,000. It's a classic aggressive acquisition strategy, really designed to get people through those virtual doors. But, the devil is always in the details, right? To actually get this offer, players have to use the promo code CanadaX, which also triggers 100 free spins on their top slot games. But here is the absolutely crucial part to pay attention to, that 35x wagering requirement. The site calls this a reasonable or competitive term. What it actually means in plain English is that you have to bet 35 times the bonus amount before you can withdraw a single dime of winnings from it. It's a pretty standard industry mechanism, sure, but it is absolutely vital for any prospective player to know before depositing. They do also mention ongoing weekly reload promos and VIP rewards, mostly just to keep players engaged over the long haul. All of this ties into a very streamlined, frictionless 3-step process to claim the offer. Step 1, you just register an account at OnlineCasinoCanadaX.com. Step 2, pop in that promo code, CanadaX, at the cashier. And Step 3, complete your first transaction. According to their own docs, the match bonus and those free spins trigger instantly the exact second that transaction clears. All right, let's jump into Section 3. Inside the game library. This is where things get massive because they boast a collection of over 2,000 titles. Once you're inside, they divide those 2,000+ games into 3 main categories. First up, you've got online slots. These feature high-RTP, which stands for return to player percentages, plus those huge progressive jackpots. Second, and this is pretty cool, is the live dealer section. This one stands out because it features high-definition streams of actual professional dealers running blackjack, baccarat, and roulette around the clock. All right there on your browser, no extra software needed. And finally, they offer your standard digital table games, featuring all the classic poker and roulette variants for every skill level. Which brings us to Section 4, banking and fast payouts. Because let's be real, how safely and quickly you can move your money is a total make-or-break feature for any online platform. To make things as convenient as possible, Casino Canada X mixes traditional, localized, and modern payment options. You're going to see familiar names like Visa and Mastercard, right alongside digital wallets like Much Better. But the real standouts here are Interac, which, let's face it, is basically essential for the Canadian market, and cryptocurrency. They actually support on-chain settlements using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, which is perfect for players who prefer to use decentralized networks. Now, the method you choose directly impacts how fast you get your payout. The platform makes a big deal about their lightning-quick withdrawals for Interac and crypto, claiming these are usually processed in just a few hours. In stark contrast to that, if you go with traditional cards or a bank transfer, you're looking at a pretty standard 1 to 3 business day wait. So understanding that difference is definitely key if you want to manage your expectations when it's time to cash out. Finally, we've made it to Section 5, Safety, Security, and Licensing. Let's look at exactly how this site handles legality and keeps your data protected. And this brilliantly illustrates how a digital casino actually establishes trust. It all boils down to the RNG, or random number generator. The platform explicitly states that they partner with independent testing agencies to audit these RNG systems. Think of it as the mathematical heartbeat of the entire casino. It guarantees that every single spin on a slot, every roll of the digital dice, and every card dealt is 100% random and verifiably fair. In other words, the casino literally cannot manipulate the outcomes of individual games. Going hand in hand with game fairness is user verification. You'll often see this called KYC, or Know Your Customer. Casino Canada X mandates this quick one-time verification process. And yeah, while some players might find uploading an ID a bit annoying, the site explains it's a very strict anti-fraud measure. In fact, getting this KYC step out of the way is a mandatory prerequisite before they can even think about processing those lightning-fast withdrawals we just talked about. So just to summarize the absolute backbone of their security, it rests on 3 main pillars. Number 1, they operate legally for Canadians under valid offshore gaming licenses, which is a super common setup in this industry. Number 2, they lock down your personal and financial data using advanced SSL encryption across the whole online CasinoCanadaX.com domain. And number 3, like we literally just went over, they use independent agency audits to keep that certified fair status locked in. Which leaves us all with one final big question to chew on. With this laser focus on the local CAD currency, a pretty aggressive welcome bonus, over 2,000 games, and those incredibly fast Interac and crypto payouts, does Casino Canada X actually represent the new gold standard for Canadian players? We've walked through their bold claims, we've looked at the fine print, and we've checked out the tech. Now it's completely up to you to weigh the facts and decide if this platform is the right fit for your own gaming style. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep learning.